What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Summer Show. I'm your host, Mr. Lawrence, and I have not been consistent about putting these videos up, man. This is something you really have to be, you got to be dedicated to. You got to have this stuff planned out to make sure everything goes smooth, and I apologize for that. Those people who are actually expecting the second video, I appreciate that. So I'm going to just jump right into it. This is part 2. And what I'm talking about is things that I'm going through, things that you could potentially go through being a non-custodial parent, and things that you could do or should do being a custodial parent. One thing that I found out that some people may not realize is that the non-custodial parent and the custodial parent could be going through the same emotions, especially when you're dealing with the court system. Okay, so the custodial parent may feel like they're not getting what they want. Like they may want more money, or they may want something, like something financial. I don't know. But the non-custodial parent usually either wants more custody. They want to see the child more often, because right off the bat, it's to me, it's like lame. If you let the court decide, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be screwed, because without mediation, the judge is probably going to rule. Without a lawyer, he's going to rule something very simple like visitation every weekend or every other weekend. And that's it, because you really got to go in there and knowing what you want in order, being a non-custodial parent, knowing what you want in order for you to make any type of progress. And you should have a lawyer, because if you don't, you're probably going to get screwed anyway. And if the custodial parent has a lawyer, you really might not get what you want. You really might end up on the short end of the stick. So you got to be prepared when you go into this. There's many ways to do it. One thing you can do is a mediation. A mediation is a less painful way of sorting out your differences between you and the custodial parent. What happens is you guys go in, you make a date, you sit down and talk about it. So whatever you and the custodial parent decides is basically concrete. The judge just signs off on it, and then y'all go about y'all business, and both of you abide by the order that you two created instead of letting the judge do it. And then if you can't agree, then the judge is going to be, it goes to court, and then you have to go in front of the judge, and then the judge is like, what's wrong with the two of y'all? And then he may make a decision, or, ain't no telling what he might do. So if you're going to go through a mediation, the best thing I tell you to do is write down everything that you want to do. A mediation is like I said, it's a less painful way of doing it. But if your baby mama or baby daddy is the type of person and they don't want to, they kind of tight with the visitation, they don't want to give you nothing, this is the best way to do it, because you don't never see a judge. The judge just signs off on it. And you two could talk civilly, is that a real word? Y'all can talk civil like before you even go to court and have everything in order. But you need to know what you want as a non-custodial parent and make it known, because you just can't lay down and take it. You know what I'm saying? That's your relationship with your child is at stake. In most cases, you really need to fight for your right to spend time with your child, especially being a non-custodial parent. When you're, like I said, when you're the non-custodial parent, you want more visitation. When you're the custodial parent, 9 times out of 10, they want more money. They want to see the non-custodial parent less. It's kind of screwed up, but that's exactly how it goes. I've been dealing with this for quite some time, and I'm telling you, it can be better. And ladies and gentlemen, I admit it's not horrible, but it becomes aggravating most of the time when you verbally agree on something, and then next thing you know, it doesn't work out that way. And I'm not talking about, hey, can you pick the child up at 10 o'clock and then you're there at 10:30, or you're constantly late. I'm not talking about something like that, and then they make a big deal about it. I'm talking about, okay, well, we're getting ready to go out of town on this date, and I told you 3 months ago, and then you knew it, and I kept reminding you, and then all of a sudden now you want to give me crap about it. And then the threats and all that fake crazy stuff is just not necessary. Or you should be lucky I let you, man, as long as you got court orders involved. They talking out there behind, and you shouldn't even feel threatened about that at all. It comes down to the custodial parent and the non-custodial parent being forced to do what they don't really want to do by the judge, or not getting exactly what they feel they want from the judge. You know, decision like this child support issue, sometimes they can't get more than what they want. And then sometimes it gets reduced. You know, as a non-custodial parent, if you're paying child support, you can go in and have it, you can appeal to have it reduced. You may not get it, but you can have it appealed to have it reduced, because you got to live too. You know what I'm saying? It was a situation I had with, you know, one of my baby mamas, and I was doing, you know, pretty rough at the time, and I was married, and two kids in the house, and I had a choice between paying the electric bill to keep the heat on or paying child support. I paid the electric bill. I mean, she was mad, but I was like, I didn't care. And she was like, I cared, but I'm just like, come on, really? Have a heart, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, it was real crazy behind that. It doesn't have to be as ridiculous as it can be. It just takes a little bit of conversation. Let's talk about this. Let's get together. Let's mediate ourselves. Let's be adults about this. It seems like nobody wants to do that because they're not getting what they want. And then a lot of times you just really have to say, hey, man, let's work together, you know? So you might run into these things as a non-custodial parent, but, man, don't get down in the dumps about it. Just go ahead and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Love your baby mama, love your baby daddy, and just do what you got to do for the sake of the child. And love all the time. You dig what I'm saying?